Hey, you guys, it's Tamika Chambers. It's been a minute since I've done a live FaceTime or Facebook. Um, so we've had a lot to go on within these past few months. As you probably had seen, my son achieve in Taekwondo. We actually uh, moved to as well. So we're no longer in Oregon right now. We actually have moved to Illinois, where we're both closer to family. And so I wanted to pop in to, it's Monday, and normally I was doing Heart to Heart Mondays. And I want to get back to that because I think it is essential. I was trying to figure out if I should do it at the end of the week on a Friday or the beginning of the week, given that you probably remember me saying or have read or heard that many of the cardiac events happen on Mondays. And I see the heart as the center of joy, as the center of life, as the center of purpose. And often through our lives, we experience what many label as distractions. I call it experiences, where, for instance, people, may project their pain on you. The pain they're feeling inside. They want others to sometimes acknowledge their pain. They don't know how to deal with it in themselves. They haven't been given the tools or don't remember that they are greater than their experiences, that we don't need to project our pain on others to heal. We don't need for others to see our pain. We need to deal with it. And we have those tools to do that. Today, I sent out in social media, Instagram, Twitter, that a student of life's goal is self actualization. That it becomes less about blaming others about our lives, about what they did, what they didn't do, less about complaining about what we have, what we don't have. And it's easy to do that. It's easy to be caught up in these storms of life and to put the blame out on someone else or look for something outside of us that is causing the storm. And sometimes the storm is a reflection, often a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And so it's about less, student approach to life is about less blaming, less complaining, and more about growing and learning. When I learned that heart disease was in my family, I didn't take that approach, what I call the fatalistic approach, that because it's in my family, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have heart disease. I'm going to have high blood pressure. I'm going to have a stroke or whatever it may be. And I tell people that risk factors are not that you're going to have it. It just makes you a little bit more susceptible to it. But as we know, many of these health conditions we have are preventable. And often it's because of our lifestyle. It's because of what we eat, what we drink, what we put in our body, and also to those emotions. Our physical representation is often because of the emotional stuff that is going on inside of us, you know. And there'll be more discussion about that. But when you think about high blood pressure and you think about vasoconstriction of the arteries, the vessels, and you think about what is it that you're holding on to, what is it that you're so tense about that is causing your vessels to vasoconstrict? Given there are many, reported causes of that, but what inside of you has caused this to happen inside of your body? Because I always look at, when we talk about the student of life approach, we think about what is it that I have done? How have I contributed to my experience? What I am experiencing? And so, a student of life, we're figuring out this journey. And yes, we're going to come across people that aren't so kind to us. And often we know it's not a reflection of us. Their unkindness or hate or, The words they use, the actions they do is often come from them. They have first violated themselves. They have first used angry words to themselves. They have first not liked themselves. They have first experienced fear for themselves. And then it comes out into sometimes others that they meet. So whatever they have done to you, they first did it to themselves. And there's a Bible verse that talks about that. And the student approach is about, how can I use this experience to make me better, not bitter, to bring out the best in me, not the worst, and to uphold those truths that have been placed in my heart and in my mind. And, if we're not taking the time to reflect, when we talk about the week, we're working typically Monday through Friday, right? Saturday is kind of like that maintenance, that prepare for the week for me. It's like getting food together, getting the house together. If it was gardening, doing gardening when it was, but preparing for the week. So that involves work, right? Work outside of the work, and then Sunday is that relaxation day, that day of rest, where okay, you've worked, you've prepared for the upcoming week, and now it's a rest time. It's a time of reflect. And reflection is something I've talked about on a daily basis. Taking time to reflect on your experiences and what did you learn from that experience? Because there's always something to learn. And often what we learn is about us. How could I have done that better? Was that the right word or right action to take? How did I contribute again to that experience? Because if we're not assessing our life, if we're not evaluating, if we're not being open to our experiences, there is restriction and constriction that often happens. And when I think of that, I think of the heart. I think of the lack of joy, and I think of, seeing people as against us, seeing the world against us. And what body, what organ will continue to survive if it sees no hope? You know about that. And so it's about daily reflection, but also using a day to spend in nature and to really reflect on what it is, who am I? What am I here to accomplish? How am I accomplishing that? How can I be better about my experience? How can I let somebody else's words not affect me? How can I see that for them, their issue, instead of identifying with, instead of bringing it into my garden, my body, instead of bringing that data into me and my nervous system? Because then, you realize that I deserve better than that. And it's not just because I am but it's because as a human being, as a spiritual being, I deserve better. Not take things personally. There are many things, and I'm not the one to say to diminish or to lower somebody's experience, or to underestimate what has occurred, what happened. I didn't experience what you experienced. Right? Even within the experience, our experiences are different. If you had a divorce, or you've lost a child, or you experience abuse and misuse of your body, within those experiences, they are different, right? But I can tell you that many of us, if not all of us, I have experienced betrayal, expectations, not kept, or where I expected something and it didn't happen, broken promises, loss of integrity, confusion, slander. Many of us have experienced that. And if there are people out there, other people, and not just great leaders, you're talking about Martin Luther King, Florence Nightingale in nursing, just other people that have experienced stuff, Mahatma Gandhi, other people that have experienced stuff, that have persevered, that even with the things that were being done to them, Jesus, even with the things being done to them, you have to have a right perspective, a perspective that lifts you up, that sees the action for what it is, that look beyond the actual action and see the heart of the person. That it's not because of you, it is because of them. And too often we take the impersonal personal. We take it on ourselves and we beat ourselves up. And I'm this and I'm that, and he only did that because this is who I am. And it's not you. It's often not you. That remember, everybody has free will. They choose their actions. You choose slander, you choose your actions. Either you're going to go beat up, kill, or are you going to say, you know what? No, that's not about me. And I choose not to carry on that cycle of pain. I choose to put it in its right perspective with the right person. If I can help, I can help. If not, if that person doesn't want to be helped, then I must dust off my shoes and I must make a decision. I must choose. My mother chose. I've made decisions where if someone wasn't ready or they were not on the same path, it was time to go. It was time to leave. And you have to make that decision for yourself. You have to decide that for yourself. So I've talked about a lot, a student approach to life. How do we have that student approach to life? We know that no experiences define us. We know that we are about learning, that in this curriculum, this life curriculum, we will have experiences. And they are to bring out the best in us instead of the worst in us. That we have, some people say, well, I'm not resilient, I'm not strong enough. We were all made by a creator. The same power that have Earth and the other planets suspended in space. The same power that divides the water, the ocean from the lands. Within us, you think about our body, you think about the miraculous, our heart that pumps. This little bitty muscle of an organ that pumps to through these highways and byways through the rest of our body, and how it has its own rhythm, and how electrolytes affect it, how stress affects it, how the digestive system digests. We don't have to every day say after we eat, okay, digest now, please. It automatically does that for us. So when you say, I don't have it within me to transcend an experience, I don't have within me to heal, I don't have it within me to have the student approach to life, to learn and grow, to not take things personally, then are you saying that this power, the infinite power, access to this intelligence is not within you? I believe the Bible says that we were made in God's image. Whether you call the infinite intelligence God or something else, we were made in something's image. We are here for reasons. Our body works and does magnificent things that even many scientists don't understand. I've been in places where a doctor said that someone was going to die like the next day, and they lived for weeks at a time, where people were told they weren't going to have a child, and they got pregnant and had not one but 2 or 3 children. So I know there is a power in us that helps us to put our experiences in the right perspective, that helps us to transcend experiences, that has given us what we need to go to experience life. I believe the Bible verse when it says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully in knowing that I know what you're going to go through, but wonderfully in you have it within you to transcend, to move past. So, my thing, whether you're, whatever color, whatever religion, whatever divisive things that we use to divide us, we still have something in common. This miraculous body, the access to infinite intelligence, the ability to heal, the ability to transcend, the ability to understand, to not take things personally. That no matter what someone does, it is their choice to act. It is also your choice. You choose how to respond. And I think I've shared once before, the student approach of life came when I was a child. That I didn't like the word mistakes. I chose lessons to learn for myself, to learn for others. And I believe that living was about building character and passing tests. And when I heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and self-actualization, that resonated with me. That we are here to align with the highest version of ourselves, given all these obstacles, if you will, these just like a race you go through, not a race, but you know what I'm saying, where you go through these different obstacles, and the goal is to stay focused on the goal, the prize to achieve, to become one with the highest version that resides in us, of ourselves. So I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Yes, I will continue the heart to heart because I think it's so important. The heart is the center of our body. It keeps us, alive. And what better yet than to be alive, to overcome experiences, to transcend life experiences, to see things as they truly are and not get so caught up in our storms, and to come out and say, wow, this is truly me. I'm not those labels. I'm not my experiences. I am beyond that, fully capable of becoming the highest version of myself. One way we can do that is by taking a student approach to life, to learn, to grow. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself, and have a fantastic week, and actually make it a fantastic week, because you can do it. You have it within your power to do what you can to achieve your goals and to make this week great as much as you can. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.